Hey guys, it's Edith, and today and for the following 14 days, we're no longer going to have intros and outros and many of those edits. And I would like to take this 14 days as authentically as possible. And I would like to simply just talk to you. And um this is going to be a concept. I wanted to call it a vlogmas, but something in me is telling me not to, and to choose something mine or something different. So you already know how I decided to call it, but we're gonna talk about, you know, as it is the end of the year, I always love so much to just sit down and reflect a bit. And maybe this will spark in you the mood to do the same, or maybe to just be and try to be more aware and to realize maybe some things that were buried under the rush and under the stack of papers and tasks waiting for you. So, yeah, um, today I'm gonna try to put it in a way that I'm gonna be journaling every day, and each day I'm going to, as I usually do, take some one idea and one thing that I would believe others would be interested in and others would be inspired by. And I'm just gonna talk about it. Or maybe it's gonna be a true freaking vlog. I don't know. I'm gonna just let myself to do whatever I want, and I'm gonna see what's gonna happen. But what I'm going to like try to do is to just record it and upload it and not do any edits, nothing like that. I really want this to be as authentic as possible. And yeah, I hope that we're going to get into that point where I'm just going to, hit the record and just start to talk. And yeah, without further ado, we're going to jump into the first part of this 14-day series. And this first part is going to be, um, let's say, the brutal truth about authenticity and becoming your true self. It freaking hurts. It hurts, and it's not comfortable at all. And you're going to be faced with so many situations where you thought that they were real, but they were not actually. And there's a lot of disappointment. So, just a little disclaimer before going into the full all in journey to becoming yourself, to becoming your true, authentic version. Be aware that you're going to be faced with with the things that are others aren't facing. And I think that ultimately, when you are trying to be more yourself, you're going to be ultimately more awake, to the world in general, because you are just forced. If you want to be your true self, you are going to be forced to think more, and to be more, mm, I don't want to say suspicious, like over other ideas, but how is that word, skeptical. Yeah, you have to be more skeptical towards everything, basically, because once you realize that like becoming your true self is also about removing so much stuff that has been yours, you thought that has been yours, but it was never yours actually. Then you are basically left with the thought, okay, and what else is not mine? And I think that it is. Then you can just go and you can really think about so many random other things that um you thought that they were normal, that they were just always there, but then you feel like you're in a freaking matrix sometimes. However, so this is a little disclaimer before going in, but today I wanted to give you this idea of how authenticity and how this journey was in my case, how I think that it is, and am firmly I firmly believe that it is not a beautiful journey to become your true self, but the result is something I would never ever trade for anything else. So it is very interesting journey. This is one of the most interesting journeys, one of the most interesting processes I have seen myself go through, because I truly see that I during the process I didn't even know that I want that I was stripping away all the beliefs that weren't mine. I didn't know that I was basically becoming my authentic self until I just stopped for one day and I looked back and I was like, I wouldn't be that maybe confident. I wouldn't be that energetic. I wouldn't be I wouldn't be that proactive. I wouldn't say hi the first. I wouldn't do it normally. So why am I doing right now? Why am I doing it right now? And that's when I basically realized, it was like few years ago, that wow, you can really do it yourself. Like you can really I didn't have anyone. I had just myself, my time, my effort, and my journal. And you can literally change. And this was one of the realizations that led me also to think about doing these videos, and trying to put some awareness that we can actually do whatever we want if we let ourselves to, and if it doesn't tap into other people's freedoms. That's important. But yeah, I wanted to basically say how my experience was in forming my authentic self, and also it's never ending. I'm not saying that I'm authentic, I'm just saying that I'm trying, and I'm just saying that I strive to be better and better every day. And I'm really there for myself, and always going to I'm always going to think about, okay, how this can serve my authentic self. Is it really aligned with me? But when I would put my view on becoming authentic, I was just journaling and I realized that there are like 5 phases of becoming that. But actually, you're not really realizing that you are on this journey, but you realize that shit, there is something more. Like you realize that, okay, this is not all there is. I don't know. I remember like freaking vividly, like it was yesterday. It was maybe like 4 years ago when I was reading this book. It's called Hero from Rhonda Byrne. She also wrote The Secret. And I didn't buy it. I just happened to have it like in our house. It was in our house, in our home. So I was like, well, let me just, go through it. I think it was COVID, so I had like fairly lot of time, so I was reading a lot. And then I had there was like, in the Hero there are some stories, success stories of people that somehow made our dreams come true. And I remember reading this one guy's, like comment, and he was speaking about what's possible. I don't really remember it like word by word, but I just bursted in tears. I was crying so much because I don't know how to explain, but I kind of knew at that moment, like 4 years ago, I knew that when later I'm gonna be thinking about it, and right now as I'm talking about it, I know that I will know that this is the moment. It's the feeling that as if I was already in the future, knowing that I will realize in the future that this was the moment where when I realized that, oh shit, like I can be someone absolutely like not different, but I can do whatever I want, and I will realize it in the future. And I know it. It's not like, oh, I wish. I was like, I was crying because I was so grateful that I knew it. And this was like, even now I want to cry because this was like one of the like most incredible feelings I've ever experienced, and it was just during reading. It wasn't like on a big freaking concert where, like there's like a lot of emotions as well, but this was something this was something more pure. I realized at both times at the same time, basically, that okay, there is something more and we're able to achieve it if we want, if we let ourselves to achieve it. But before that, there was like a there was like always when you want something, there's going to be this chain of moments and of events that you kind of don't know how to interpret at that moment, but later they're going to be all making sense. And so, right now, as I was journaling, these 5 moments really made sense to the moment right that I'm sitting here right now. And I can really tell you that even though like the journey towards authenticity and journey about um, like thinking about stuff and just realizing stuff and seeing, I don't know, like maybe even reading psychology and reading more books and being curious basically will make you cry a lot much harder. I don't know if that's like, of course many people will have it differently, but I'm gonna be very very honest with you. I don't remember myself crying that much before, as I was, just living my life blindlessly, like, when I was more aware, you are basically you are naturally going to notice more things, and therefore you're going to naturally be more curious, like why. You're going to ask why a lot, and this will lead you sometimes to very disappointing answers. And I was very fearful. I didn't want to do anything like the first. I really didn't want to be seen. That's even better way how to put it, basically. I didn't want to be seen because I would think that I would be judged. And by thinking that I would be judged, I wouldn't basically be judged by them, but I was already judging myself. So, this is the first thing. Maybe there is another question, why was I judging myself? Maybe I saw it when I was a child in my authority figures. Maybe it was teacher. Maybe it was even like the society where I was. That judging was just part of, maybe when you judge, you're better. Or at least in my head, it was like that. Like when you're judging someone, you are judging them like this. That means that you're higher than them. And so maybe I wanted to be also a little bit higher than them, but then wouldn't it be like my ego? Or that would be very, very something very selfish to just put myself on the pedestal. But maybe I wanted that so badly, so that I did it for myself. I was judging myself from the pedestal. And I would say that this part of the whole like era would be pretty much about like literally finding how to be confident. I needed to find answers, so I was looking them up on the internet, and I was really feeling like I'm not gonna good enough. And I remember really like one evening I was literally like reading a blog post how to be confident. And then I stopped and I was like, girl, you are you really like reading a tutorial or like a guide on how to be confident? Like there's something weird about that. Just the fact that how to be confident, like it's never going to go out from the outside world. It starts here. And I already kind of felt the truth that it starts from within, but I just didn't know how to achieve it because I thought that the only way is to chase it outside. And so I would say this was like the first beginning of me trying to realize something, or me being more aware basically. And this can happen to anyone at any age, I would say. And there is no shame about anything. That if you're trying with good intentions, remember that there is never a shame in anything that you do. If it's with pure good intentions of yours, like don't be don't be ashamed of that. It's really, if someone will judge you, well, they are the ones that are probably also judging themselves. And they would be literally, as I was, judging my own self because I wanted to be someone better, because I just did have I just had this, maybe it was like a very big ego, or maybe it was like this angry sad child that wanted to be seen, but the child didn't know how to like take it. The child didn't know that, like I didn't know that I could make my own self like feel seen. So I was just trying to chase it in the external world, and yeah, nothing positive came out of that. Spoiler. So yeah, naturally, the second era, or the second part, I would say, after the fearful and self-doubt, I would try to overperform it. I remember that I would be like coming back home and I would be studying even more, and I would be really like, I didn't have like, I was a good student, but like when I think about it right now, I was really like overdoing everything without those results. So I literally needed to like, I maybe still don't have this detangled, but I was just overperforming in the prepare phase so that I would keep myself busy, so that I would feel that I'm working more, and so that by working more, I would be more worth it. Because then I remember like my family was praising me so much for for studying so much, for always reading. I remember that they would say always like, "Oh, she's always reading something. Oh, she always wants to like she's always like reading some, I don't know, some magazines about this and that, like scientific or economic magazines." Yeah, she would be this, very much literate girl, something. So I would be, and this really gave me a fuel. This would give me even more energy to even put more and more energy into literally nothing. I I could have just like as well had a great time with my friends, but I did not. I was this high school teenage girl that was just overperforming, and for like I wouldn't say nothing. Right now, at least, I have this realization. I have this, um, this point of view, and I can form an opinion on that. But and I don't say that I wasn't like partying or anything, but I wasn't like that much of this type of girl. I was more of a, we're going to do one more, I don't know, repetition of this presentation. But at the same time, the result, in my opinion, wasn't that good. Like when you compare the amount of time spent on that task and the result of that task, I think I was just performing also in front of myself, that I was like working on something. And the third phase was exhaustion, naturally. When you overperform, you can never ever maintain this speed if you don't really have your like, if you really don't have your why, if you really don't have the purpose, and if you really don't feel it, you're going to burn out. Like how, the logic is there. If you need to overperform constantly, there is going to be a moment where you will be forced to take a break. And so I remember this exhaustion came when I actually left my country and I went to study somewhere else. And honestly, I can't verbalize, or maybe I can. I will see. I really cannot recommend enough how much of a relief and of a realization that is instant you're going to have by moving out. Your not home, but your city. Even better, your country. And if you can, leave that continent. Literally go somewhere completely else. Go somewhere where there is different culture, there is, but like don't go somewhere where you don't want, right? Just go somewhere where it something is telling you to go there. Like listen to it, because there is always on that place something that will make you realize you needed that place, you needed that experience in that city, in that country. But you, how can you know now? That feeling is the knowing. So the fourth part, and the fourth like era, I would say, was that realization and was that awareness, where when I moved to that different country, I was really, I realized a lot. And it was as if I would be like 5 years older, and it was just like 2 months that I was there, and I would already like feel that I have gained actually so much more information about the world, about me, about how society works actually. Because, surprise, it's not the same everywhere. So, this was one of the most important parts in this journey. And I would say, don't skip that. And the last one is, I would say, that I have right now is acceptance, that I just accept some things as they are, And it's okay that some people don't understand, some people don't want to talk about them. I know what I shouldn't talk about also in front of people that just don't understand. And it's this acceptance, it's very peaceful. And I wouldn't say that the last like two parts are all good. Realization is also a big shock. It's, as I said, a disappointment. You are going to disappoint a lot of people, but it's not your business on how they're going to respond. And you're going to change a lot by realization. Because what's realization? It is knowing more. And by knowing more, you make better informed decisions. And it's not like I've read this, so I'm gonna do this. No, it's like realization. It's like it comes from within. It's not what you have been taught, it's not what you have read somewhere. It's truly this knowing, inner knowing, and that will make you a very good and very nice informed decisions, believe that. And it's going to be saying no to a lot of things. It's going to be also, as I said, it's part of finding the true self. It's also healing because you have to basically go inside, do the inner work. This is like the system where the most important syllabus, the most important school is in our minds, it's in ourselves. We should go through each module. We should go th- through everything just so that we tap into that core, and that's our graduation. So it's going to be also, it was pretty, I wouldn't say like exhaustive, but I have it this one's interesting because I had way more energy than I had in when I was, exhausted, very logically. But yeah, I had way much more energy, and I've done. It felt so effortless. Like life truly felt effortless, and but I was working a lot. It's interesting. It felt like there is a new source of energy, and so this was also something that led me to go to new places. And this is also how you very simply just like get to know yourself. It's like if you go with your spouse on, I don't know, to maybe to live together. This is a new situation, and from that situation you can get to know that person better. If you go to a cafe and you see that, you see your other half, how they're talking to other people, how they're talking to the service, this, um, or how they're talking to anyone, basically. This is also something you're learning about them, and so you are learning about yourself the same way. It's also a good way to think about yourself as your best friend, like your true best friend, because you're there with yourself the whole time. And this will also lead you to way simpler acceptance, that you're going to basically accept many things and you'll be like, okay, I have myself, it's okay. So yeah, and the acceptance part, I would say there is more peace. It's definitely the best part, because if it's not good, it's not the end. So remember that if you are on this path, or if you're trying, or if you're just having these like questions about stuff, also feel free to just send me a message. You can send me a message on Instagram, on TikTok, on you can send me an email if you want, sincerely and stuff, you know. So, yeah, and definitely the acceptance is um something. And so yeah, like send me any question about authenticity, any question about like what is that actually, or like how can I start, or you can just send me like you can tell me in the comments what are you actually interested in, or on which type of phase you think you are, if you want to go on this journey, because if you don't, you're probably not even here anymore. So yeah, and acceptance is truly one of the like calmest parts. And I think, I'm not sure, but I think that with acceptance, you are going to like, this is the destination when you accept that it's actually not ending. And so you're okay with that. That this journey about authenticity was never actually about authenticity. It was just about to be in that moment and to feel the fulfillment, and to let yourself to accept that you can be fulfilled, that you can do what really means a lot to you, and to maybe even like put more of your time than normal people would do. Like you can literally do anything you want. Like, are we aware of our willpower and our mind, how literally if you decide to do something, if you let life, the life will really help you. It will give you some events, if it will give you some people, it will give you some opportunities to make that happen. And so many people still don't believe that, but life truly is collaborating all the time. It's reflection of how we love ourselves, and the way it works out or it doesn't work out, it actually always works out because it is literally always collaborating with you. It is just reflection of you, how you love yourself, how you believe in yourself, how you bet on yourself, how good person in general you are, what your intentions are. So yeah, this is my little ish. So yeah, I think this is everything I wanted to say. It's basically about realizing that like nothing. Yeah, and so this is basically everything I wanted to say, I think. It's just, so this is the part. So yeah, this is the first part of, yeah, still series that I don't know how to name, but I'm gonna come up with a very, very cool idea. And yeah, if you want and if you're interested to share more and to even maybe have a one-to-one call with me, I got a community. And so, yeah, that's everything I wanted to say to you today. Alignment and finding your true self is not a walk through a beautiful garden full of cherry trees and blossoming freaking flowers. It's sometimes a very, very like exhaustive battle, but I wouldn't say a battle. It's just like a big run, like a marathon. And through this marathon, through my marathon, I have experienced these kinds of phases. And I don't know, I'm curious if that is something you also have experienced some, like, at one point in your life. If you think and if you wish or are aware that you know that there is the way to authenticity, and you can basically make your life how you want. You can start to do literally what you want. But yeah, if something is blocking you, then this is just the proof that you can be authentic because you are noticing the block. So definitely keep going. Don't stop. Don't rest in the middle. And you will get there, like 100%. The only thing, only way how you won't get there is that you are not going to continue. So yeah. And definitely, if you are interested in alignment, in authenticity, go ahead and check out the description of the video. I do have my own community and we do talk about this stuff, and we are raw, honest, and we don't really, yeah, we just get each other. And for the first few members, I'm going to also book a one-to-one free call so that I get to know you as the member, because it is going to be very, very awesome community, and I want to have my founding members to, put this beginning stone that will eventually become a beautiful building. So I really want to have this community on a really deeper level than just, sending texts and, mm, having calls. We're going to also have call one-to-one. And so if that speaks to you, you're more than invited. Thank you for being here, and see you tomorrow. Stay awesome. Bye.